The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Even at age 62, Annie Oakley never missed.
Welcome to the Gun Shop Show, coming to you from the sales floor of the greatest gun store in the world.
I know of none better
than
Liberty Tree Guns.
Thanks, guys. Well timed. This is the Gun Shop Show, which is the only radio show / TV show / web show that comes to you from the middle of a gun store. And today we are talking about the guns of Annie Oakley.
Or so she was known.
So she was known. But I got to say a couple things. One is happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday.
It is Independence Day.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. All kinds of fireworks going to be going off.
And this great country would not be possible without the influence of some very brave people who believed in individual rights. And one chief among them is the right to self-defense, the right to bear arms, which was a bigger part of the American Revolution than people realize early on. So happy birthday, America. Before we get cooking, I want to give our listeners a chance to get some free merch. But quickly, I have to remind you, please share the feed. This show is growing. It's spreading all across the country, getting on more and more platforms and stations, getting downloads from all over the world. But it's only possible with your support. So one of the big things you can do if you're watching on the live stream, which is on Facebook at the Liberty Tree Guns Facebook page, share that feed, and you can share it without leaving the stream. So please do that. And then now let me tell you how to get some free merch. And guys, I'm making it interesting. You might even not know.
Are you mixing it up?
I'm mixing it up a little.
Okay.
Let me start by saying, if you're a fan of the Gun Shop Show and Liberty Tree Guns, then you need to get one of our bumper stickers. Nice UV resistant glossy bumper sticker for your car or vehicle. And I'm going to give some folks a head start, but I'm planning a contest where you pose with your Liberty Tree swag.
Gotcha.
And get a chance to win a gun.
Yeah, a gun.
Yeah, I'm going
like
crazy
a whole
with
gun?
it. Yeah, like a real gun.
We're going to throw some hashtags on that, like hashtag Liberty Tree Guns.
You know we are.
Hashtag Gun Shop Show.
You know we are.
Hashtag free guns.
But before we get into that, let's give you a chance to get some free hats, which I'm holding in my hand. I've got two kinds. Got a all-white American flag hat, which the ladies love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they love it.
And I got to admit, I love when the ladies wear these.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty good.
It looks cute.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Cute.
So we have an all-white ball cap style flag with a subdued American flag. We also have a Hunters Unite ball cap that is absolutely free.
Very patriotic looking, both of them.
And then I have one. So this is where I'm making it interesting. I got one more thing. I've got it hidden under my desk.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yikes.
And there's only going to be one, so it has to be the quickest fingers in the West.
Oh, a tube.
Well, that's
looks
not
like a
it.
tube.
It is not a tube.
That's a tube.
That's a
I
tube.
know a
It
tube
comes
when
in
I
a
see
tube.
one.
It
Oh.
comes in a tube, okay?
Oh,
I thought it was the tube.
Here we go.
I was excited.
these tubes are hot.
It's a Tech Mat, 1911.
sweet.
This is their premium tabletop sewn edge Tech Mat, and
that thing looks thick.
it is thick.
I could see the thickness in the
A Tech
screen.
Mat is a heavy rubbery mat that goes on your workbench where you might take apart your guns or work on your guns, clean your guns. And this particular one has a classic diagram of a 1911. I'm holding it up on the screen. If you're listening on the radio, you might want to jump over to the live stream so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's only one of those to get for free.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have speedy fingers.
The
and
quickest.
So if you want a hat or bumper sticker or the free Tech Mat Where do you have to go, Logan?
You're going to go to our website at libertytreeguns.com. You're going to go to the Liberty Tree merch section. Click merch, and it should be there.
And it'll be free. And there's some other free stuff there. If it's $0, you can grab it for free. In-store pickup is free. And while you are there, feel free to browse more than 50,000 products, guns, ammo, related accessories.
That's so much.
It is what we do for a living.
It is.
People might think that we get on the radio and act a fool,
Which we do.
We do that.
but that is not for the living part.
And we do it with class.
We do that, but we hope that when it comes time to buy a gun that you consider your friends in the gun business at Liberty Tree Guns. But let's waste no more time.
You ready to get down
Agreed.
to the nitty-gritty?
I'm ready to get down to the nitty-gritty. Do we have time? As I've got a little what you call it, little bit.
Montage.
A little montage on someone who I have tremendous respect for as a historical figure.
I think we got time, Eli.
Okay, so we're talking about Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley embodies everything Liberty Tree is about. One could easily make the argument that she is the single most iconic marksman in the history of shooting and of firearms. Even today, almost 100 years after her death, the name Annie Oakley means something. Born in 1860, Phoebe Ann Mosey started trapping before the age of 7, and hunting and shooting at age 8. After her father died, Annie went to live with a family who promised her 50 cents a week and an education. But instead, they treated her basically like a slave, and mentally and physically abused her. But when Annie was 15, a traveling show marksman, Frank Butler, placed a wager that he could beat any local fancy shooter. Butler said the last opponent he expected was a 5-foot, 15-year-old girl named Annie. And I probably don't have to tell you who won that shooting match. Butler and Annie later married. Chief Sitting Bull gave Annie the tribal name Watanya Cecilia, which newspapers translated Little Sure Shot. This name would follow Annie for the rest of her life. In 1885, Annie joined the traveling show Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. I think Annie's legacy as a shooter is lasting and so powerful because it was real. It wasn't a stage trick. She could shoot a playing card on the thin side, splitting it in half, and then shoot the pieces on the way to the ground. Just before the Spanish-American War was declared, Annie Oakley wrote to President McKinley, showing her strong conviction to serve her country to the best of her abilities. In a letter dated April 5, 1898, Oakley volunteered to organize a regiment of 50 American female sharpshooters who would supply their own ammunition and arms should the nation go to war. Her request was denied because women were not allowed to serve. Annie believed not only could women handle guns and shoot, but they could and they should, and that it would empower them. Annie is quoted as saying, "I would like to see every woman know how to handle guns as naturally as they know how to handle babies." Another one of Annie's famous quotes was, "I ain't afraid to love a man, and I ain't afraid to shoot him either." I thought that was great. Doing research for the show, I gained an even newfound respect for her and the way that she overcame the circumstances in the era, a bad childhood. And even though those traveling shows were, there were things that were kind of edgy, like burlesque and things that we probably would be shocked to learn were happening in that era.
Right.
But she kept a very straight-laced, she was ladylike, but yet a really incredible shooter.
Right, yeah, that was something that I picked up on. She was adamant that she wasn't going to be a caricature. She was going to be a lady.
Yeah, and she was. You know, another thing that's fascinating is an easy to lose context of. You see her shooting these lever actions and pump 22s and firing them like an expert, but this was not very many years after these guns were invented for the very first time.
Right.
You know, she was born what would have been right around the beginning of the Civil War, but yet just 15 years later, as a young kid, she is an expert marksman. Many accounts of her shooting, which we would never do this today, but she could shoot the cigarette or a cigar out of someone's mouth, and
that is phenomenal. I know that marksmanship is something that can be taught, but that level, like Twitch level, where you're seeing things happen at such a fast speed, like a 22 Plinkster shoots a card off of a spinning wheel. I'm sure she did similar things.
Yeah, and in fact, I have a clip that I want to play because I think there's people listening that probably would not believe me if I told them that someone could shoot a playing card and split it in half. So not hit something the size of a card, which some shooters would struggle with that, you know, but shoot it on the thin side where you can barely see it. And it has to be a perfectly aligned shot, because just hitting the edge but at an angle won't cut the card in half. And so when we come back, I'm going to play that clip of 22 Plinkster, and we have some 22 Plinkster related news.
We do.
Which is exciting. But Annie Oakley is someone that should inspire anyone, but I would think would especially inspire young ladies who might want to get into.
Yeah, she was super ahead of her time in regards to women's rights. Probably, I mean, that I know of in historical relevance. Yeah, I mean, she definitely pushed the envelope for women's rights.
Absolutely, and another reminder of why guns are great equalizers is she could have been outspoken for women's rights, but the fact that she could shoot a gun,
who's going to argue with it?
It backs it
Get
up.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
No.
On the Gun Shop Show.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit jaspercountysheriff.org.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him, and it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, into my favorite part, that's the Woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. They have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers while they're hosting an event. or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks, check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed. Welcome back to the Gun Show. We are talking about the guns of Annie Oakley, and I just heard a sound.
Yeah, I think I know what that sound is.
I vaguely remember that sound.
That's the text mail, right? The email?
Something about the refrigerator.
No, that means that we have voicemails to check.
Oh, that old
I always
Jim.
forget.
But we're talking about one of the most influential people in history when it comes to guns. Miss Annie Oakley. If you just joined us, we were talking about her upbringing. She had kind of a tough childhood, was basically an orphan, and was, abused. One of the things that I also thought was impressive is even in her biography and her autobiography, notes that she left, she never named their names.
Never named the names
of the family that abused her.
Oh.
Yeah, they were referred to as the Wolves.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that in one of the articles I was reading on her.
Even though she talked about how tough it was and, really didn't respect him, she still chose not to, because she knew with her fame and with her following that would have probably affected that family, and she still chose not to.
Yeah, I'm sure she had some folks in the family that she genuinely cared about, at least like maybe some other younglings that she didn't want to get associated.
There's no telling why, but it was definitely out of respect.
Right.
But one of the things that I find so impressive is Annie Oakley died in the 1920s, and so she has been dead for almost 100 years.
It's a long time.
It is.
But her legendary status lives on in pop culture.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's songs out there about her, right? Like, what's that one that Michael Jackson cut, Smooth Criminal, right?
What?
I don't think that's... What I was getting at is that...
You don't know what I'm talking about?
We'll come back to that. What I was getting at is, like, if someone hits a perfect shot at the range...
Oh, yeah.
They're real Annie Oakley.
Yeah,
Right.
and people still say that. Nobody has that legacy for so long. You know, like Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But right now, if you're at the gym and you shoot a shot, what do people yell out? Kobe. Yeah. So
I'm out of the loop on that.
His legacy didn't last 100 years. Hers did. Her name means sharpshooter.
Right.
But I'm not sure I'm familiar with a Michael Jackson.
That old Michael Jackson cut? Let me see if I can whip something up for you guys.
Okay.
There's not a Michael Jackson.
Does he know what he's talking about?
I don't know.
I just so happen to have my geet here.
Oh, you're gonna okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a little riffage. I'm gonna riff it, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking
I
about.
hope so.
Let's see. Are we plugged in? Yeah, we are. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, it's really embarrassing. Here we go. If I can remember it. Oops, I messed it up.
All right.
Let's try it again.
It sounded familiar.
Yeah,
So this song is about...
Annie, are you Oakley? Are you Oakley? Are you Oakley, Annie? Annie, are you Oakley? Are you Oakley? Are you Oakley, Annie? You know what I'm talking about. You know that cut.
So
Right?
not familiar.
That's how that goes, right?
I'm familiar with the song, but I don't think it goes, Annie, are you Oakley?
Oh. Maybe it's like those other songs, that CCR song that, what was it? In the bathroom on the right?
Haven't you been playing music for years?
Bathroom on the right.
Yeah, but those are the lyrics, right?
Have you been playing it that way this whole time?
I'm a guitar player, not a lyricist, man.
But you've been singing the songs. Have you done this out in public?
Not until now. No, I just decided the first time I'll do it, I'm going to blast it out onto the internet.
Smart.
I just imagine Trevor's playing a music show and people are there and they're like, Enya, and he's like, Oakley, Oakley, Anna, Shaman.
I'll throw in some shamans every once in a while.
Annie, are you Oakley? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That was a pop culture reference I was not familiar with. Little known fact, you heard it here on the Gun Shop Show.
The real lyrics.
The real song, Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson, is about Annie. And it goes, Annie, are you Oakley? Are you Oakley? Are you Oakley, Annie?
Uh-huh.
He was a big fan. Big fan.
He was.
No one knows about
You didn't
that.
know
but
that.
A lot of people don't know
You didn't know
that Michael Jackson was a big Annie Oakley fan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was at the top of his craft.
Yeah.
She was at the top of her craft,
It
and
makes
he thought,
sense.
I'm gonna let the public know. I'm gonna let the word out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
so.
Her legacy lives on. Okay, so we heard that ring. That's a reminder that we have listeners that want to talk to us. And they can do that in the Gun Shop Show Facebook group.
That's one place. That's correct.
Yeah. And also, they can leave us a voicemail.
It's true.
And so we're going to check the voicemail.
That's right.
And I'm going to go ahead and get...
In true Gun Shop Show fashion, though, right?
Yeah, of course. There's only one form of technology that I can get this done with.
Oh, there it is. Oh, the heaviest phone ever. Good night.
Yikes.
Hey, man, that is high dollar tech right there.
The thing is, you have to do that to get it to work.
It's tough.
Yeah, good,
I mean,
good call, Logan.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Like, it doesn't work unless you
are
manhandle
extremely
it.
rough with it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be careful with it. That just happens.
He's just extremely
Every
clumsy.
time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really off balance.
But the Gun Shop Show would not be possible without our awesome sponsors. So before we check the voicemail, we need to remind people the only way that we get to answer your questions right here on the Gun Shop Show when you call the voicemail is when our sponsors help make it possible. And our flagship sponsor, U.S. Law Shield, is one of those sponsors. And they are legal protection for your self-defense. So legal defense for your self-defense. And one of the big announcements is they are the only that I know of legal defense, self-defense firm, and they're not an insurance company, which is what makes them different. But they're the only one out there on the market that will protect you from red flag laws.
Red flag laws, as in getting our guns taken away without due process. Red flag laws.
Yeah. So one of the big pushes in gun control right now is to have an ability for someone to say this guy shouldn't own guns,
Right.
You know, and without a judge or jury, without being convicted of a crime, they would come seize your guns. And
Yeah, just point a finger, make a loud enough scream, and they'll come take your guns away.
And that's a problem because you look at people would use it maliciously. And so U.S. Law Shield will not only defend you if you're in a shooting, but they'll also come to your defense in that scenario, help you get your guns back. And so you can go to uslawshield.com or you can click the link that we'll put in the comments of the live stream. But remember, when you use promo code LibertyTree, just like Liberty Tree Guns, it's part of that name.
Gotcha.
When you sign up, you're going to get 2 months for free. So 14 months for the price of 12. And you're also going to get Platinum Plus, which is a rate lock for the entire life of your membership, regardless of how many benefits they add. So when we get back, we're going to be checking your voicemails on the Gun Shop Show. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15-round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO. Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silver Boy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some black powder, some cool Colt black powder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this is half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection, so we'll buy 1 gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was 1 check and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA-50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection. I want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy a collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon. Welcome back. We are your friends in the gun business here at Liberty Tree Guns, where we are broadcasting to you this program The Gun Shop Show. And we are getting ready to check our voicemail box, which is something that we do from time to time, including pretty much anything that you want to call in about. And you can do that by calling what number?
Let's see. I think it is 208-918-1776.
Yep, that's it.
And it's on the screen.
918-1776. If you want your voice to be heard, your question, your comment, we will play it back. So if you're a radio listener, jot that down. 208-918-1776. Let's fire up the old voicemail phone.
Let's
here.
do it.
Hey, Trevor, did you go ahead and get that intro? You were going to do like an intro sequence because we've been having to do it by hand.
Yeah, I did it all, and then I scrapped it and said we need to be purists. So we're going to do it.
Wait a minute.
We're going to do it from scratch.
I paid you to make a whole intro, and you deleted it?
But you pay me to make wise decisions. This felt like a wise decision. We're going to keep it fresh, like fresh squeezed orange juice.
We're going to have to do this live again?
Yeah.
Dude, the calluses on my fingers from shredding so hard. But all right.
Yeah.
If you don't have one.
If you could see around Eli's desk right now, you would see just piles of what look like sand.
That's not sand.
Actually shavings from his calluses.
Yeah. We get a close-up of those.
I'm
reaching
here
out.
we go. Reaching out to the audience.
Oh my gosh.
So gross. So gross.
They were
gnarly.
bloody last week.
They're gnarly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my guitar.
Okay, you get your guitar.
The fans named it.
The, let's see, Guntar? No. Top Gun. Top Guitar Gun?
ZZ Top Gun.
And ZZ Top Drumsticks.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right. All right. So I really wish you would have done like I asked and got the promo done because I don't remember the song.
I'm a renegade. I'm channeling my inner Annie Oakley right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you okay, Annie? Okay.
Are you okay, Annie?
All right. Here we go.
Sorry, y'all had to listen to that.
That's it.
Are you ready to rock out, man?
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna wing it.
You're winging it?
Yeah. Make sure though, the camera stays on me because me or you because I want people to see this shred because just make sure you get that right.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready to check that voicemail?
Oh, dude.
That was even a harder shred than normal.
Oh, man.
I'm glad I remembered it because, leading up to that, I couldn't remember the song.
Man, if you're not careful, you're going to snap the neck on that guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I broke a string.
Yeah.
And, last show, I broke 2 strings. This time, broke 3 strings.
Man, it's starting to get really expensive.
Yeah, we're looking for sponsors. If you sell guitar strings, let us know because that's the only way this is going to sustain. The dollars and cents of this is important.
Right. We got to make this segment work every time. If only I would actually make the intro.
I know, and you had
then
one
we wouldn't
made.
have to do it. Yeah.
And you had one made, and you deleted it.
I deleted it. You should probably fire me.
It's time to. I've been thinking about it. Live on air. This week on the Gun Shop Show, the guns of getting fired.
Right. I'm thinking it's like a TGIF or like a TV show. It's like this week on the Gun Shop Show.
Trevor gets fired.
What did I do?
Will he ever get a job again? All right.
Find out.
Let's check the voicemail.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, I'm going to access the... How?
Yeah, hello, Gun Shop Show, everybody. This is Dan Jefferson, and I live in Webb City. I'm a fan. Annie Oakley was known to use, I don't know how many different kinds of guns, but one I'm particularly interested in is one made by Parker Brothers, a 12-gauge shotgun. And at one time it said she used that to dazzle Queen Victoria to do some fancy shooting. I know it's made by Parker Brothers, and since it's a shotgun, my question is, dumb as it may sound, could that be used for bird hunting? Okay, don't laugh me off the phone. I'm serious. All right, thanks again. Love your show.
He loves the show.
I appreciate
Thank you,
that. Thank you
caller.
very
Yeah,
much.
we love
That's
him.
awesome.
Thanks, Dan.
We would never laugh anyone off the phone. By the
No,
way, unless
we
your
hope
name's-
that you laugh yourself off the toilet right now while you're.
because that's where
We
he's calling
know.
from. Yeah, we know.
We know.
We know.
Hey, it's Saturday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you're.
You got a whole week built up.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so this. We know what's happening. Okay, so Dan's question was about the Parker Brothers shotgun. Trevor, if you would look in the photo files for the show that we saved back, there's one with Annie with a double-barrel shotgun. So, she used a bunch of guns, a lot more than I even realized.
Yeah.
But a double-barrel shotgun. There's one picture of her with a double barrel. Parker Brothers made, I should say. They
Yeah.
stopped back in the 40s.
Yeah, they're making Monopoly now.
Yeah, that's different.
That's a huge shift.
Yeah. Parker Brothers shotguns are extremely desirable American collectible firearms. Interesting thing, though,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of confusion / debate / we may not know
Yeah.
whether or not she generally shot a 12 gauge or a 16 gauge.
That's up in the air.
Yeah, so
Folks aren't sure.
what's interesting is even at one of these major auctions, and I don't know if it was Rock Island Armory, but one of her Parker Brothers shotguns sold in 2013 for $293,000.
Wow, that is impressive.
But one of the auction sites that I read said it was listed in the auction as a 12 gauge, but in reality, it was a 16.
What are the chances that like she was keeping people bamboozled or just keep them guessing? Keeping them in the headlines.
It's easier, especially with a 16 gauge, than you might think.
Yeah.
Because we've done that. I mean, not generally, but if you have a collection of guns, and we buy collections here at Liberty Tree Guns, and you've already looked at 85 and a half guns, and you get to the 86th, you could start picking up a double barrel and just feeling 12 gauge. But when you look closer, or in the event that you were to try to load a 12 gauge round in there, you'd find out real quick that it's not. And so she may have used a 16 gauge as the moral of that story. But her show traveled all over the world, including to perform for Queen Victoria, who was super impressed, along with other European diplomats and heads of state. I know she shot, I can't remember the name, but she shot a cigar out of some leader's mouth at his request. So pretty impressive. But the question beyond that was, would that be an appropriate hunting shotgun?
Right.
And the answer is yes. Actually, 2 years ago, I went to a charity clay shoot with a double barrel side-by-side shotgun.
Wow.
And one of the 20-something-year-old guys we had working for us said, "You can't use that to shoot clays." He said, "That's not what those are for." He's wrong. Double
Do
barrel.
what you want.
Those shotguns that's what they were for, was bird hunting. So you have, prior to the repeater, you have two barrels so that you have two shots loaded at one time. And each of those barrels has a different choke. So the choke controls the tightness of the pattern, or how far it travels before the pattern spreads out. And most of those guns would have two triggers, and one would be for one barrel, one would be for the other.
Yeah.
So if you're shooting at a close-up bird, you could use one of the barrels, which might have a different choke than the other. So it absolutely is what that was for. He mentioned hunting quail. And Dan, sadly, here in our area, unless you go to one of the, there's some quail refuges where they kind of help stock them. The quail are not as prevalent as they were, so there's not a lot of quail hunting in southwest Missouri. But other than the fact that they're highly collectible, Annie Oakley's Parker Brothers shotgun would make an excellent hunting shotgun. More on the Gun Shop Show.
We are the deck company of Joplin. My name is John Hart. I'm an owner. I'm going to take you to the Anderson estate, show you what we've been working on. It's a very large project. We're putting composite on, but we ran into a little situation where the frame had to be removed and we got to put up a new frame. This is the project. They're going to be putting a hot tub here in this area here, so we're going to double up the joists and put in some support beams. It'll be a very beautiful end result where they have the hot tub here and a pergola above it, I believe. So all these posts will be replaced. The staircase will be redone once you get a good look at that. All right. Of course, we got to support the Chiefs, guys, right? Always. Here it is coming together. So we'll keep you guys updated. Thanks again for allowing us to be a part of your show. We are proud to sponsor you guys. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Hey man, we got to do this About Anywhere porta potty commercial.
I kind of have my hands full.
I didn't want to bother you, but we really got to get it done.
You know this is where I go to do my special project. I'm almost done. Hang on. I'm done. The Gun Shop Show is brought to you by About Anywhere porta potties.
They'll take you anywhere.
You can take a beep anywhere.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop wings, wood fire pizza made with ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole and uncover a.
I was taking a sip right when we came back from break.
That was Liberty Tree brand water in that Liberty Tree brand tumbler.
Nothing keeps you hydrated like Liberty Tree water. Mm-hmm. Liberty Tree water. Stay thirsty.
It's what plants crave.
Straight from the tap.
We had a caller ask about Annie Oakley, and that's what this episode is all about, is the guns of Annie Oakley. Mm-hmm. Her shotgun. Would it be a good hunting shotgun? Answer was yes, it would. That's what it would have been intended for and made for. Sold for $293,000. He brought up quail hunting, and then that reminded me we have an awesome guest coming up.
Right.
And that's Jeff Quaddy. He's an expert in things in this arena, conservation, and I'll ask him about quail hunting because I know quail aren't as prevalent as they used to be. But
you ready for some Mo?
It's time.
Let's do it.
Yes, my name is Andrew Jaggers, and I'm just curious that submachine gun behind you, is that a .45 caliber? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just curious. All right, thank you.
Oh, I know what happened here.
Uh-oh.
He called during our last episode.
Oh.
He's talking about one of the guns that were behind me. So every show we have different guns.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Trevor. Can you go find
me
a clip of the last show?
Oh, okay.
Yep. And
like, you got the right Trevor here?
Yeah.
You want me to find guns? That's not good news.
No.
You've hit the bottom of the barrel if you're asking me to find.
I just need you to find the file.
Okay. You need me to find the
Hey,
video?
do you know how to find the Gun Shop Show?
I don't know. Cool. Tell me.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Really?
Facebook.
Yeah,
awesome.
YouTube, Facebook.
Podbean. iTunes.
What
Google
about
Podcasts.
What about Spotify?
News Talk KZRG.
That's right.
The Gun Shop Show Facebook group.
Yeah, Facebook group.
We can do Pandora.
Oh, Pandora.
Spotify.
We can do
TuneIn.
What about TV, like on the television?
Oh,
it is on TV.
On TV. Yeah, go ahead and just blast the audio from one of our previous episodes.
I had no choice, man. I had no choice. It's like it was coming on. You didn't have any choice.
So right now, as part of this episode of the Gun Shop Show, we bring you a different episode of the Gun Shop Show.
That would be terrible. Like second segment, we start the first segment from the last show. All right, are you ready, dude?
Just get it on screen for me.
Okay, here you go. Yeah. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, you're so regal.
Find a. I've had a haircut since the last episode.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
That shotgun is right in the way. See?
Yes, it is. Oh, it's better.
Is it still in the way?
No, that's good enough.
Okay.
All right. See up there to what would be the upper left of your screen.
This one?
Can you put a mouse on there?
Well, you can't see the mouse, but here, I'll do something better.
You draw on it.
Right there. It's right above this.
Oh, right above the big
the big window.
So let me just cut to the chase because there's people listening to the audio only.
Yeah, cut to it.
Sorry.
There
guys.
is a Chris Vector submachine gun on the wall behind me.
Yep.
Within feet of me. And he wanted to know if that was a 45. It was not, actually. Can you tell him what it was? The answer may surprise you.
It was a 22.
A 22 long rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, which reminds me, we have to talk about 22 Plinkster before we get out of here.
Okay.
But that is a Chris Vector, really interestingly designed gun, and I want to tell you about it. We have something ready. Let's play it.
What am I playing?
The Chris Vector.
It's ready.
You'll find it in the show notes.
Now.
Okay.
Let's pull up the document.
Here we go. I got it. I got this.
This is now hiring listing tech.
You got you've
producer.
got some applications. There you going over in the middle of the show. Here we go. This is it, right?
Now ready.
Okay.
All right. Here you go, caller. Here is what the gun was. Chris Vector, very funky looking gun that's on the wall behind me, and we're going to play some content related to the Chris Vector.
Hi, I'm Kelly Young with American Rifleman, and this week's Gun of the Week is the unorthodoxly but ingeniously designed Chris Vector Gen 2 CRB. Chris's tagline for this Vector is, "Power is pointless without control." And that slogan pretty perfectly encapsulates the design philosophy behind this gun, a pistol caliber carbine made to be as easy to fire and fire quickly as possible. Now, the heart of the CRB is Chris's patented Super V recoil mitigation system, which also contributes to the carbine's pretty unusual shape. The Super V is a blowback system. However, rather than driving the action directly back towards the shooter like a traditional straight line blowback, it redirects the energy by also drawing the bolt downward. The rear of the bolt is attached to a slider positioned in a track positioned here between the shooter's two hands.
Can you pause this
now, when
for a
the
second?
rifle cycles, this piece is forced down the track.
I want to explain something to the listeners. So if you cannot see this, which you can if you join the live stream on facebook.com/LibertyTreeGuns, this gun is very funky looking. It looks like a big space age kind of thing, but it's got a stapler look to it. So the body of it is bulky and comes down. It's not really bulky. It's just more... instead of being linear, it's more deep, right? And so the reason, and you're going to hear him describing how the bolt, instead of coming back on a normal, long, skinny firearm, you've got this body coming down. And the reason that it's shaped like that is not just so that it looks like it does. This functionality that he's describing is the gun's bolt rotates down to eliminate that felt recoil. So if you can, go ahead and just keep rolling that, Trevor.
Track by the recoil, which draws the bolt downward with it. Extraction and ejection take place during this downstroke, and a recoil spring found at the bottom of the track then forces the bolt back up and forward, stripping a fresh cartridge from the magazine before locking into the chamber. This feature greatly reduces felt recoil and counteracts the muzzle's natural tendency to climb during recoil, making it much easier to make quick, repeatable shots on target. While this system certainly does come with some benefits, it requires the carbine to be somewhat unconventionally shaped. Which also means that the Chris Vector has a manual of arms that will likely be unfamiliar to many shooters. The non-reciprocating charging handle is located forward on the left side of the gun in the seam here between the upper and lower receivers, and it folds flush with the side of the rifle when the bolt is in battery. Located just below the charging handle is the bolt release, which can be used to either manually lock the bolt back or to drop a bolt that has already been locked back. This gun system feeds from standard double-stack Glock handgun magazines, and they are inserted into the rifle just forward of the Super V system, and the mag release button is found right here in front of the magazine well. And due to its placement, shooters, particularly southpaws, may need to be careful not to accidentally drop their mags while firing the gun. A bilateral thumb safety with a short 45-degree throw is located just above and to the rear of the trigger. And about 13 inches of Picatinny rail rides the top of the rifle. And it also comes from the factory with flip-up Magpul backup sights installed. Another 3 inches or so of rail is located here just ahead of the magazine well for the installation of a light, laser, or vertical foregrip. And then there are also holes on each side of the receiver if the shooter wants to install any additional rail segments. Just as the AR pattern rifle is a modular system capable in some cases of switching between chamberings simply by changing upper receivers, the Vector is also a multi-caliber system. The manner of shifting cartridges just differs a little. In this case, the lower receiver is the serialized chambering-specific part, and it can be removed from the upper in seconds just by pulling these 3 pins. The lower we currently have on this gun is chambered in 9mm Luger. However, as you can see, it takes almost no effort to remove it and install this 45 ACP lower in its place. In addition to these 2 cartridges, Chris also offers CRBs and complete lower receivers in 10mm auto, and 357 SIG and 40 Smith & Wesson models are also forthcoming. This provides a platform with quite a bit of versatility. What we have here is the carbine version of the Vector with a collapsible M4-style buttstock extension and a 16-inch shrouded barrel. This one has been Cerakoted in flat dark earth, but they also come available in black, OD green, combat gray, and white, which the company calls Alpine. So what's the recoil of a 9mm Luger, which by no means has a fierce kicking cartridge, like when fired through a gun that has been specifically designed to cut recoil? Well, it's a little more than a .22 long rifle, just with a lot more practical applications. And that will probably be appealing to a lot of people. For more information on the Chris Vector Gen 2 CRB, visit chris-usa.com.
I'm going to tell you another place to go. Instead of going there, go to libertytreeguns.com, where we carry all of those models of Chris. Mm-hmm. That's KRISS. Just type that in the search bar at Liberty Tree Guns, and you can see what's available. The inventory around the country in the gun industry is spread thin, but you can search there, and there's also a really cool feature on our website where you can click Notify Me when it's in stock. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in a caller asked if that was a 45. They make it in 45, they make it in 10mm, they make it in 9, and now they make it in 22. Mm-hmm. They're interchangeable. Mm-hmm. You could go to any of those models or all of those models that you might be interested in and click Notify Me when in stock, and you're going to get an email the instant those come back in. And we work with several warehouses, so whether we have it physically in the store or whether it's available for ship to store, that's going to notify you and you can place an order. Also, you can do layaway. So those guns being as uniquely designed and as awesome as they are, they're not super cheap.
Right.
But you can make it easier to buy by clicking the layaway button, and then you only have to put 10% down, and then you get how long to pay?
90 whole days.
90 days to pay with Liberty Tree Guns layaway program. So we're going to continue breaking down the guns of Annie Oakley and checking our proprietary voicemail box right here on the Gun Shop Show. Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters. And it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. And here's some photos of my trips to Colorado that we took in our RV from Mid-America RV. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of the lifetime RV warranty. So I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. And as you can see, they have a large inventory selection of trailers and fifth wheels, and they specialize in those. They don't carry any motorhomes or anything like that. So if you are in the market for a tow-behind RV of any size, from a little teardrop to a full-size trailer, I urge you to check out Mid-America RV. Now, we weren't sent any promotional material, so we decided, and this is from genuinely from my personal experience. There's a trip of me in Colorado in my Surveyor that I got from Mid-America RV, and so we decided we would make our own commercial for these guys since we believe in them so much. So, Trevor, I assume that you are prepared with material, right?
I'm going to jingle on the spot.
You didn't make one ahead of time.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Right.
And I'm actually a little nervous right now.
Can you put it on the lot?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Let's refresh. And here we go.
They may not appreciate this.
Mid-America RV, the San Francisco treat.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at the making up of stuff, so I borrow from other people.
Okay, well, the point is, Mid-America RV will treat you right. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV. It would be one thing to just tell you about our deal of the week, the 12 Survivors Pocket Water Filter, but it would be even better just to show you. We came down to the Spring River bottom where the water is famously bad, and Trevor is gonna get me some water. Let's get in there.
Yeah, let's get some dirtiness in there. Nice and dirty. Oh yeah. Look at all that gross.
Let's get some out of this puddle. Scrape it in there nice and deep like. Scoop it.
Oh yeah, look at all that nasty mud. You think it'll taste like chocolate? Artifacts.
All right, our deal of the week, the 12 Survivors Pocket Water Filter, filters out Salmonella, Giardia, pretty much every bad kind of bacteria, and makes water completely safe to drink. I've got the little pre-filter on there, so here we go.
So good.
Actually, it's not bad. Like, it just tastes like regular water. That's really impressive. The 12 Survivors Pocket Water Filter is the deal of the week from Liberty Tree Guns. Getting it supports the Gun Shop Show. You can get it on libertytreeguns.com. Has some really cool features, and it makes even the nastiest water safe to drink. There's a pre-filter that really is just designed to get the sediment out. If the water's cleaner than this, you don't need the pre-filter, but it's also threaded. So that'll thread right onto a normal water bottle or soda bottle. So if you're in a survival situation, you could scoop out the water into a water bottle, thread this on top, carry it with you, and make it safe to drink. Or carry them separately, thread it on just when you need to drink. So get it, libertytreeguns.com.
shop show, the gun shop show. What is it? We don't know. The gun shop show, the gun shop show. Here we go, it's the gun shop show.
Welcome back. If you were expecting to hear Kim Commando on the radio, well...
No Mo Kim Commando.
The joke is on you.
More like Kim Command. No Mo.
Kim Command don't. She's gone.
She gone.
Because make way, world. You got 2 hours of the Gun Shop Show.
That's right.
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 whole hours.
We're going to be here doing this.
That's double the time.
Logan barely got back in time because he was working,
On the
doing
move.
important stuff.
Super
And
important.
I joke about these guys all the time, but let me tell you something. It would be quite impossible to pull this off without Trevor and Logan. And I joked about firing Trevor, but you guys, even though the show is not necessarily fancily produced, it takes a lot to be a part of the show, to switch cameras, to have all this content ready, to make a TV, radio, web show, and be a commentator on the show is not an easy task. Trevor does it really well, so let's all give him a round of applause.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's the extra hands that I have. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go off without saying that Logan is too key. Let's go ahead and throw him up on the screen.
Yeah.
Logan.
And so when Logan helps customers, they ask for him by name, and that happens in person.
He's always got his back to him, and then he's always turning around with wind blowing through his immaculate hair.
That's right.
Something that came to I wanted to tell you guys about. It's a little known fact. You guys probably haven't been on the inside of this, but I heard that Chris is going to have a special edition a gun for Christmas called the Kringle. You get it? The Kringle.
We don't want to get it.
I get the joke. It's just...
I love how bad it came off. That's the joke.
I mean, I get the joke. you know,
Welcome to the second hour.
Are you proud of that?
Yeah, normally this crap wouldn't be on the radio. Oh, are you allowed to say crap? Was that one of the 7 words?
No, I don't believe it is. The 7 words are beep, 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 and beep.
I'm sure there's another beep in there.
I didn't mean to say crap, but apparently I'm safe. I can say crap. This stuff wouldn't be on the radio, but we're checking the voicemail. You know what? And also, I think I saw the Logan mobile cam.
The Mogan cam?
Which we are currently seeking one exclusive sponsor for the mobile cam.
Yep.
So if you would like to help make the Gun Shop Show possible and sponsor the mobile cam and get only one spot available, unique sponsorship for the Gun Shop Show, where when we take the camera through the store live, it could be the, for example,
Bumblebee tuna cam.
Okay. I was going to say anywhere porta potties.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
That's
The anywhere porta potties mobile cam.
Yeah.
That rolls off the tongue.
Right.
Yep.
It's anywhere.
But before we do the mobile cam, let's check the voicemail. We got more. We got more in here.
Here we go, guys.
So much more.
Yeah, I'm from Carthage. My name's Rick. I'm an avid gun collector. Liberty Tree has been really good to me about collecting my Henry rifles. They are very considerate and well known. Thanks again, Liberty Tree.
That's awesome.
The guy just called to say
Just
he
give us
loved
some
us.
love.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Love
nice.
it.
Thank
sure
you.
Appreciated. So Henry rifles, he collects them, and that is something that we sell a lot of here. And right behind my head, I'm going to have to crouch down so you can see it. Hang on, I don't want to knock off ZZ Top Gun here, but there you go.
Oh, there it is.
Right there.
Is
That's a
that
Henry.
Is that the one that we shot for the Guns of John Wayne?
Nope.
No, that one was all black, huh?
Yeah, that one is synthetic stock, but that
sir.
is similar.
I really liked shooting that gun.
Let's get the Netfish's mobile cam.
Oh, whoa! I know
Yeah.
Netfishes.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
They're terrible at marketing, by the way.
They're customer service.
They're terrible at marketing, but they're great at building websites.
Oh, it's true.
I like that. We can cram that into the end of that commercial.
Yeah. Okay. Let's fire up the old U.S. Law Shield mobile cam. The old Liberty Tree Guns layaway program mobile cam.
Are we gonna get it sponsored every second is sponsored by a different sponsor?
Yeah.
Every time you
pay
refer
for a
to
second.
it.
Fire it up. Let's go show the callers, the listeners, some of those Henrys that we've been talking about. So if you're listening on the radio, I'm sorry you can't see this. You're going to get an inside look into the best gun shop in the world. And we have sent Logan on a message, on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And he cannot respond. He has no microphone.
He can respond through sign language or facial gestures.
And he can't hear us. So he has no idea what we're saying about him. Actually, he has an idea.
You could type anything in the comments, and Logan wouldn't be able to hear.
So
it.
here we go. We have arrived at a Henry 4570. Why did I say 45 like an auctioneer?
I don't know.
Henry 4570. Lever action. Let's go ahead and run up and down that thing.
Oh, man.
Henry makes some of the most gorgeous guns in the industry, but especially among lever actions. Turn that thing sideways, Logan. Let's see the beauty.
Uh-oh,
No,
it's
not the
gonna flip
camera,
it.
not the camera. Turn the gun sideways.
I thought you said he couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Did you know Henry Rifles? The Henry Rifles mobile cam.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I like the Henry.
Plinkster's got some Henry-related stuff
Yeah,
coming too. Maybe
which
we can get a
we-
22 Plinkster / Henry mashup cam.
Did you know that they make all of their? Ooh, look at the wood on that one. That one's on sale too.
That ain't gonna last long.
That
I might have to buy that.
Look at the wood grain on that. Did you know that all of the wood stocks on Henry rifles are made from Missouri-grown walnut?
That is pretty cool, man. I think I'd heard you mention it before, but are Henrys made in Missouri?
No, the entirety of the gun isn't, but they source all of the wood.
Yeah.
Because some of the most beautiful walnut trees are grown right here in Missouri.
Heck yeah, man! I got one that looms over my house.
Yeah, it's makes for a very elegant firearm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rick, we appreciate all the business. We try to do right by our customers, and we built our business on that premise. And so normally this wall would be
lined with them.
Wall to wall, and there's still several available. Is that a golden boy, or is that that's not a golden boy? That's something else. I can tell.
You talking
from
about
here.
that shiny one down there
Yeah,
that
way
looks like
down
a
there.
golden boy?
It ain't though. It ain't.
It's a mirage. It's
so-
actually a 7-Eleven. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep, that's a Cherokee. Is that a Cherokee special edition? Yep, I knew it. See, these guys think that I'm not fresh on
Yeah.
our inventory. I'm
Right.
fresh.
Yeah.
I know what that is. I can spot it from all the way across the room. So we're talking about the 22 long rifle Chris Vector, and we're talking about splitting a playing card in half. And
Yeah.
people said, let us know in the comments. Do you think that a person can really split a card in half? I know someone that can.
It's hard to not believe that it's possible.
But let's show it. When we showed it,
Sure.
there's a
I got a trick shot for you guys.
Oh yeah, there you
I'm
go.
gonna do one for you today. I'm
That's
gonna try
the
to split
voice
playing
of
card.
22
The
Plinkster.
shot that I'm gonna try to do today. is
New
probably
friend of the
hardest
show.
card split
New
I've ever
friend of
had
the
to
show.
attempt. A buddy brought this over to my house the other day. It's kind of one of those lazy Susans that spins. And what I want to try to do, I'm going to
This
try
is
to spin
YouTuber
this
22
playing card
Plinkster.
like so,
Got a playing card
back up about 20, 25
on a
feet,
lazy
and
Susan.
try to split that playing
So the
card while it's spinning. I hope you
The
guys
card is rotating.
He's basically a modern day Annie Oakley.
Yeah, really. He's used YouTube, and now he does this professionally.
Right.
But I was watching him back when he had a day job.
Yeah.
And really been a fan for a long time. And so here we're doing proof of concept. Could Annie of Oakley split a playing card in half? Let's see. Here he goes. He's about to pull the trigger. Look at that.
I mean, I get that someone could be that good, but how many times do you think he took that shot?
He
One
usually
time?
will tell you.
Yeah.
And he's honest. He'll say, it took me 4 tries or it took me 5 tries.
Yeah.
And so, it doesn't mean every time you can. Although, when you look at accounts of Annie Oakley, they will talk about the fact that she never missed. And I think that's probably why they. I don't mean that she never missed in her life. I'm just saying, people witnessed it firsthand, and that's why her legacy lived on forever. In fact, I do know she missed because there's a quote, and I'm going to misappropriate it, but I'll give you the gist. She said, aim high, and this was like sort of metaphorically.
Oh, yeah. I actually read a little bit about that.
She said aim high because if you keep aiming, you're going to hit what you're aiming for. Maybe not the first time or the second time, but if you aim, it's just a metaphor for setting your goals high.
Yeah.
Because if you aim high, you will eventually hit what you're going for. And I embrace the same philosophy of...
You and me both.
Yeah.
We're dreamers.
How many more segments do we have? One more segment before our guest? Or is he coming up next?
I think he might be coming up next, actually.
Oh, all right. We're going to have a special guest coming up on the Gun Shop Show with Properties on the Gun Shop Show. Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square. And it's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him, and it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back into my favorite part, that's the woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers, they have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers, whether they're hosting an event or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit jaspercountysheriff.org.
We are back on the Gun Shop Show, and we've been talking about the guns of Annie Oakley. And I wanted to tell a quick story. We'd been talking about how she could split playing cards by shooting them on the thin side, split them in half, and then shoot the pieces on their way to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have a hard time believing that if I didn't just see a modern-day shooter do the same thing or a similar thing. He
Right.
spot, and that was shooting a playing card not while it was stationary, but
Right.
while it's turning.
In motion.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Now, 22 Plinkster is a YouTube personality, and I actually sent him a message recently, and Trevor can attest, from before we even had our first show, I said the kind of guest that I would like to get on, somebody that I admire, would be someone like 22 Plinkster.
This is true.
I've used him as an example
Mhm.
several times, but I sent him a message, and then when I scrolled up, I realized I had sent him a message in 2011. So I have been following him for at least...
Courting?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
at least talking to him since that long. And when
Mhm.
I first started watching him, he was just doing these trick shots.
Right.
I saw one of his early videos where he flipped a peppermint, one of the little red and white peppermints,
Uh-huh.
up in the air and then shot it out of the air. Very Annie Oakley, very cool. So what we did, though, is I saw he was going to go live. And I'd sent several messages, invitations to his Facebook page to no avail recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, if we have such a passion for the Gun Shop Show, and we know 22 Plinkster would make an awesome guest,
He would.
I enlisted the help of our fans.
That's right. You called in the forces.
I did. I got on the Gun Shop Show Facebook group, which I'll post in the comments right now. Logan, could you shoot that in? And said, hey, 22 Plinkster's going to go live. Let's all get on there and ask him to be on the Gun Shop Show. So we did, and let's see if it worked.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show.
He says it.
The Gun Shop Show wants you to do an interview. All right, we'll talk later. Yeah, we can collab with the Gun Shop Show. We can do that sometime. Man, I'm seeing lots of those comments.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
We got him. We did like we got him.
And now if he doesn't do it, we're like, guess he doesn't do what he says.
Yeah.
I mean, he said
Not
it.
a man of his word.
Did he
Yeah.
say it once?
Be kind of
No.
like
It was twice.
kind of like my daddy would never would have been there.
Oh,
Oh my
just got
God.
dark.
Awkward.
Is that
Now
radio
you
friendly?
have taken your ridiculousness
personal-
to the airwaves.
That's right.
Never again. Never again.
Yep. There you go, KZRG.
Do we have enough time for
They're gonna cancel
the
us.
video about Annie Oakley's Golden Marlin?
Oh, you talk. Oh, from the
Do we have time
Rock
for it?
Island Armory. Let me see how much time we got left in this segment. We got about 5 minutes left. So, do you remember how long?
I tell you what, fire that up and jump ahead about a minute and a half.
Okay, that puts us at about 6 minutes.
This is a really cool.
Okay, so I'm a minute and a half in.
This is a gun unique to Annie Oakley, made for Annie Oakley by Marlin, that went to auction. This is the video belonging to Rock Island Auction Company, one of the biggest auction outfits in the world. Full credit for the video content goes to them. Let's roll it.
May unmute it here. Probably want to hear it, huh?
That'd be cool.
Smashing of social mores continued nearly her entire life. She once bested a man at trap shooting, a traveling professional marksman named Frank Butler, who was immediately taken by the lady shooter. They would be married within a year. Eventually, the husband-wife duo would travel performing exhibition shooting. But it wouldn't take long for Annie to become the star of the show, with Frank serving as her manager, assistant, and press agent. Again, Annie was smashing social norms, with her husband taking the back seat. They would often perform alongside the bawdy and titillating vaudeville acts of the era, but Oakley was determined to keep her reputation pristine. She would be clad from head to toe, even wearing a hat, gloves, full-length dress, and tall boots. It would become almost as signature as her shooting. Annie's reputation was growing, but it would soon explode as she became part of Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Joining the show in 1885, she was initially billed low, but audiences loved the 5-foot-tall lady shooter and her act. She was pretty, demure, sweet, with a wardrobe that catered to the Victorian sensibilities of the time, while her act of a woman skilled in shooting also challenged those same societal expectations. In 1886, Annie performed with Buffalo Bills in Madison Square Garden. And by 1887, they were performing at the Golden Jubilee for Queen Victoria herself and were seen by many of the European heads of state. She was the darling of Manhattan and London. It is said that Annie earned more than any performer, save Buffalo Bill himself. It was another social rule shattered by Annie as easily as her glass ball targets. It was this wide exposure to Annie at home and abroad that cemented her as part of American folklore and legend. Here was a girl from Ohio who had not by any account been a pioneer nor spent a night on the cattle trail, but who had become the image of the Western woman. She embodied the rugged individualism so valued by Americans, but never at the expense of her femininity nor demeanor. She was fierce, competitive, driven, and a talent like none other. A tornado of determination wrapped in a beaming smile and a dress. She performed with Buffalo Bill at the 1889 Universal.
So look at that gun right there. If you still have it there, it'd be great. Can you guys guess what that thing sold for? Did I already say it?
$290,000?
No, that was just one of her shotguns. This is a one-of-a-kind gun made for her, gold-plated by Marlin. It sold for $575,000.
Wow.
But, you know, the culture of Annie Oakley is what really will prove and will allow me to make the argument that America really is different than any other country on earth, because culturally we admire that type of individualism. And individualism is what has made our country so powerful in terms of financially or economically, militarily, because we embrace the individual. And there's nothing more Americana, more inspiring for youth, for women, than Annie Oakley. She was the real deal.
Yeah. Real, I don't know, man. She's an amazing person, just from what I've learned from her. And, you know, not only was she, an advocate for women using firearms, but for education.
Yeah. And did you see if you can pull up the picture of her? She could shoot backwards. So she would lay the rifle across her shoulder and then use a handheld mirror like Logan uses to style his hair.
Yeah, just like that one that he has.
Yeah.
There it is.
And she could hit her target like that. It's just incredible. And no wonder people wanted to go see her show, right?
Right, yeah.
I've tried that shot.
Have you really?
I have.
Using your mirror?
Yeah, well, using my mirror, it is impossible. There's no way. I don't understand. I was so off.
That's impressive. So we're going to come back with a special guest. This is the second hour of your favorite gun program, The Gun Shop Show. Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silver Boy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some black powder, some cool Colt, black powder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this is half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection. So we'll buy one gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was one check, and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA-50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection, and want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy your collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15-round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO. Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. One of the things I talk about on the show a lot is that gun owners, and hunters especially, are actually some of the biggest advocates for conservation and preserving our environment. And I have with me our special guest, Jeff Quaddy from Whitetail Properties, who is an expert in that exact arena. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Thank you, Eli. A pleasure to be here.
So you do this for a living.
Yes, sir.
So you live this life, and by this life I mean the management of land and property, both as someone who works in agriculture and as someone who is a hunter and a fisherman.
Absolutely.
So we had been talking, off the air about a really unique property you have, and it's listed right now, and I think it would give people sort of an insight into what it is you do. So if it's okay with you, I want to roll that, and then we'll come back and tell folks your story.
Excellent.
Trevor, can we
Owned
roll
by
that?
Retired Kansas City Royals pitcher Luke Hochaver, the Triple H Ranch is one of the finest turnkey whitetail hunting farms in the state of Kansas. Only 3 miles south of the Nebraska state line, this tract lays among two of the most productive big buck counties in the state.
My name is Luke Hochaver. I'm a retired baseball player. Played in the big leagues with Kansas City Royals from 2007 to 2016. 2015 was kind of our highlight year, winning the World Series. And for me, being in the Midwest and having an opportunity to play and hunt giant whitetail in the same state, I mean, it was perfect. There have been some really, really good deer that have come off this farm. The biggest deer being a 202, the next biggest deer being a 184 7/8, and then the next biggest deer being 172 5/8. Really, I mean, we started out with our quality deer management plan is we're only gonna shoot 150 inches or bigger. But we quickly learned that we had some 3.5s that were 150 inches.
Drive down the private lane where you will find the custom-built lodge featuring a walk-in freezer, custom-built baseball lockers to store gear, along with everything you need to house family and friends.
When I bought this property, obviously I had big deer on my brain when I bought it. But really what it ended up turning up into is a family getaway. Being in Kansas City, this only being 2 hours from the ballpark, any off day that we had, me and my wife, we would load up the 3 kids, come up here, spend an off day. We spent every All-Star break here. We would come out here every year for deer season or for late season when the kids were out of school, and spend a week and just hang out and just get really good quality family time together where we're just hanging out in a cabin. There's no distractions.
The property features 200 income-producing tillable acres and an additional 200 acres of timber. The extensive trail system leads to multiple food plots, ground blinds, and tree stands, along with 6 3,500-pound protein feeders, all complementing the incredible habitat.
Really, anybody who's going to be interested in this property is, number one, going to be a serious whitetail hunter. That's what it's designed for. That's the management practice that's been put in place. That's what all of the upgrades to the property are centered around. And then enjoying the hunt, with your buddies, with your family. So really whoever's looking at this property is going to be serious about whitetail. They're going to be crazy about chasing whitetails and love to manage the whitetails as well.
Call land specialist Jeff Quaddy to schedule your own private showing.
I think folks that I would consider maybe big city folks, anti-hunting, anti-gun, their argument, and maybe their legitimate perception, maybe the reason they get so emotional about it is they feel like hunters and even farmers at times are at odds with nature, with wildlife, when the truth couldn't be further from that. The most respectful, the most conscientious are those hunters and those enthusiasts that want to see not only a population of things like white-tailed deer, and I want to talk about quail before we get out of here because we had a caller ask about that. The folks that care about those populations not only coexisting on these properties, but doing it in a healthy way where it's managed, it's not overpopulated, are the hunters and the landowners that benefit from that.
Eli, I absolutely agree with you. A prime example is, again, I grew up on a farm and we row crop farmed until I was like 23, 24. Wildlife has always been a monumental part of my life, and hunting, and but you learn when you grow up there, you learn to respect not just the land but the wildlife that lives there, and on my personal farm, I got to the point where I first bought it, I was trying to increase the deer herd, and part of it was from hunting, and I had a great agricultural base to work with there, but I've gotten to the point that I let the doe population get out of hand, and that's not been a positive from the standpoint of more so from the standpoint of the winter months, because there isn't quite as much to eat, and the deer herd does suffer somewhat during that that time frame. So, it's really important that you manage the herd to keep it healthy. And farmers and ranchers and hunters are the people who are the most focused on that. Basically before the Robert Pittman Act was put into place, there were hardly any deer out there at all. And they started, when they would sell tags, they would hold back tax dollars. And from that point on, the hunters were the ones who were paying for all the conservation efforts to make the herds healthier, to bring things back, and so
one of the things that I've seen before is in some suburban areas where it's wooded but not necessarily rural like what we have here in Southwest Missouri. Deer become overpopulated, and then they're starving, and they also become a pest in those areas. And it's interesting because they've tried different things. They've tried bringing in predators, and then you have a whole separate problem. What they've found over and over, even people who maybe politically would oppose it, is they have to bring in hunters.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's bow hunters if it's a somewhat populated area, but that's how they get the herd back under control to a manageable level where they can be enjoyed from people that don't want to hunt. My grandpa was somebody, he grew up on a farm, loved nature, and he just didn't want to shoot them. But he loved to watch them, but he respected the hunters because he knew if they weren't there keeping a managed herd that he wouldn't be able to enjoy watching nature as much.
Yeah. My mom was kind of an anti-hunter, and if it wasn't for my dad, we were kind of at odds from that standpoint. But again, we were the ones that were always doing things, planting food plots and stuff to keep them healthy through the winter months. Just the little things that really kept the conservation going and the herd healthy all year long.
And what's interesting, we know from a recreation standpoint why this is important and conservation standpoint, but you do this professionally. So tell us what it is that you do for a living exactly, and how those two things, being farming and hunting, actually can have a really healthy relationship.
Well, I work with a company called Whitetail Properties Real Estate. And again, I grew up on a farm, so I understand farming practices. I'm a diehard hunter myself, so I'm always looking out for herd health, for management, for control, and trying to get the most out of a healthy herd. And so basically, whenever people come to me, we sell farm, ranch, and recreational real estate. We kind of stay out of city limits. We're really country realtors.
And I know that we have listeners all over the country, and we have some in big cities. And so I know if I keep saying big city people, that someone's gonna get insulted, because we have great Second Amendment supporting people that live in every kind of environment. But we're coming up on a quick break, but I want to keep you with us. We're going to jump into another segment. We're going to break down how you can help people realize the full potential of their property on the Gun Shop Show.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break. And also, I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
We are the deck company of Joplin. My name is John Hart. I'm an owner. I'm going to take you to the Anderson estate, show you what we've been working on. It's a very large project. We're putting composite on, but we ran into a little situation where the frame had to be removed and we have to put a new frame. This is the project. They're going to be putting a hot tub here in this area here, so we're going to double up the joists and put in some support beams. It'll be a very beautiful end result where they have the hot tub here and a pergola above it, I believe. So all these posts will be replaced. The staircase will be redone once you get a good look at that. All right. Of course, we got to support the Chiefs, guys, right? Always. Here it is coming together. So we'll keep you guys updated. Thanks again for allowing us to be a part of your show. We are proud to sponsor you guys. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Here we go. It's the Gun Shop Show once again. And before the break, we were talking about, I made a reference to big city folks again. That way, I want to make sure that I make a point to offend at least one group of people on every show.
Yeah.
What I was saying, though, is you touched on how you deal in real estate primarily outside the city limits, rural, agricultural, or properties that are appealing for hunting purposes. And what I was saying, there's nothing wrong, obviously, with those real estate firms that deal in typical homes and commercial properties inside of town. But if they don't grow up this way, they've not been immersed in farming and hunting culture, they might not do the best service by their client because they might not understand all of the reasons why the property is valuable, how to market it, and how to sell it. So that's what you do on a daily basis.
Yes, sir. Basically, we have knowledge that most of the city realtors don't. It's kind of one of those things from the standpoint of we can market the property differently than they would, really helping people who understand all that to understand what a wonderful property their property is. But you also, from a buyer standpoint, you can get into soil types. You can get into management, you can get into doing different things to help improve their property pretty dramatically. And I've stayed in touch with a huge number of the people who have bought ground from me and tried to help them develop their property into more than what it already is.
They may need to know things because the farm I grew up in covered in hedge trees and a certain kind of ground, and but you could go over 5 miles. Had we bought property over there, there'd have been a learning curve in how to manage that. It's just the ground was different, the environment was different, the natural vegetation was somewhat different. So those are all things that you guys are well versed in. But I was recently looking at some property, and it was brought to my attention. Well, it has, blank X value just from a hunting lease standpoint. And that kind of was something I didn't realize was so in-depth. Your land may have value based on its appeal to hunters. And so tell us how a person would monetize their land with hunters and hunting leases.
Obviously, you can reach out to us as well on that. The great part about it is on top of cattle pasture or tillable farm ground, there is a pretty strong market right now for hunting leases. The average rate in this particular area at this point is $8 to $12 an acre. If you have a 40-acre chunk of timber with 100 acres around it, that can actually go towards the whole 140 acres.
So just to be clear for listeners, a hunting lease is when you as the landowner grant rights to an individual or maybe a family to have, is it usually exclusive, or do more than one hunter lease the same property?
That's all part of the negotiations. Usually, from a hunter standpoint, you want it to be exclusive, and so you're willing to pay just a little bit more for that.
People will go to great lengths to conceal their good hunting spots.
Exactly. So, you can negotiate that in. Like I said, it'll cost you just a little bit more, but again, part of that, $8 to $12 an acre, that should be exclusivity, should be part of that.
And so, when you give that figure, is that an annual rate?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll pay $8 to $12 per acre for the rights to hunt on there. And so obviously, and this is again where it gives incentive to maybe there's a farmer who doesn't hunt himself, but he understands these premises. He knows that if he manages his property properly, it's going to be more appealing from a hunting lease aspect, which is going to, it might not be enough to retire on, but maybe you'll pay your personal property taxes.
Exactly.
So we had a caller ask about quail hunting. My grandpa and generations before him, quail in our area was a big sporting thing, to be able to go out and hunt quail. As I grew up, it was already being talked about. Quail are diminishing, they're disappearing. But we're seeing now people are hesitant to hunt them because maybe there's not enough. And so let's talk about why that is and what farmers may be able to do to help contribute to the quail population coming back, which then in turn would possibly add value to their property in terms of hunting leases and be great for conservation.
Sure. Eli, the whole quail going downhill, that is a multifaceted thing. Yes, the farmers have utilized their crop grounds all the way up to the tree rows. Some of they just completely push the tree rows out, to trying to get more farm ground. It does have something to do with the predators that we have out there today, raccoons, possums, skunks, chicken hawks, owls, those types of predators. But from a farm perspective, how a farmer can capitalize on bringing that the habitat back for them. Get with your local conservation service. They have got great programs to bring, and they'll pay you to implement these. But great grass strips they'll put back into place. They'll help you pay for the cost of that, and
back, let's say 100 years ago, they used hedgerows where they plant trees in a row, and that would create cover for the quail, and they would move from one area to another and avoid predators by staying in that. Well, at some point, farmers wanting to maximize their farmable ground would clear some of that out, and that may have contributed along with over predator population with the diminishment in population. But I know I've even heard of farmers that just choose to leave some of that vegetation there because they want to see the quail come back, which is a great example of that harmony between agriculture and conservation.
There's a strong push for that right now. It's kind of one of those things that there are a lot of farmers that are starting to understand the significance of that type of a conservation program and really are starting to implement that to help bring those back and give them a great place to raise their young.
So I want to make sure, because I always want to have a good time talking to a friend like Jeff, I sometimes run out of time. So I don't know where we're at in time, but I want to make sure that before we get out of here, folks, if they want to contact you because they are seeking this type of a property, or they have a property like this that they want to sell, or they just have questions about a hunting lease, maybe that they're looking for a place to hunt, how do people contact you?
You can get a hold of me two ways. Of course, cell phone number 417-540-0691, or you can send me an email, jeff.quade, Quade, @whitetailproperties.com.
And we'll put that link in the comments as well. But just to further prove that Jeff is a like-minded guy, supporter of the Second Amendment, a lot of business owners wouldn't be brave enough to become a sponsor of a program called the Gun Shop Show, where we have guns in the background and we're constantly doing silly things related to firearms, but you have stepped up and helped us make the Gun Shop Show possible by becoming a sponsor of the show, and I wanted to thank you for that.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited.
So you guys will be seeing Jeff. He's also a member of the Gun Shop Show Facebook group, so we'll post probably a clip of this interview for anybody that missed it on the show, and then Jeff can be accessible right there in the group, as well as at the contact numbers that we'll post. So Jeff, anything else that you want the listeners to understand about what it is that you do, or things that are important to you?
Second Amendment is awesome. What assures our freedoms to be able to do what we do every day and love, and those private property rights that allow us to be able to have great places to hunt, and so we're. But as far as what I do for a living, guys, I've got years. I'm 55 years old. I've got tons of experience at this, and I understand what it's going to take to find a great property and to manage that great property.
And we talk about on the show a lot how obviously Second Amendment is probably going to be the most talked about constitutional right and aspect that we're going to cover here on the Gun Shop Show because it's related to guns. But you mentioned private property rights. We talk about the First Amendment and how it's important to this. But that's sort of the ethos that makes the Gun Shop Show popular, that makes our listeners so passionate and cohesive, because those beliefs are the type of things that our listeners not only hold dear, but they, if needed to, would fight for.
Exactly.
And so show listeners should go to Facebook, search The Gun Shop Show. We have a Facebook group, and it's not like a business page where only the business posts. It's a group where members can make their own posts, and it's a lot of folks that find these things valuable. And not everyone's a hunter. Sometimes they own guns for other reasons, personal defense, because they understand their role, in a free society. But go to the Gun Shop Show. You can connect with Jeff there. You can also reach him at the numbers that we'll put in the comments. So, Jeff, I sure appreciate your time. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Eli.
Commercial idea for net fishes. I walk into the commercial director, we'll call him's office. I say to him, "Hey, how's it going?" He replies, "Good. We got your commercial ready to go. Are you ready to listen?" "Yeah, but before I do, I have an idea I want to float by you." He says, "Okay," a bit sarcastically. And I say, "All right." And I clear my throat and I start singing this song, something similar. Net fishes, we're all really good friends, hanging out and stuff, and having memories to talk about when we were young. It's net fishes. And I say the business name wrong, like fish nets. He replies, "That's terrible. And you didn't even say the right business name at the end. It's your business." Then it cuts to fish snatches. Net fishes, where we can all be friends. And commercial.
Guys, if you're anything like me, you would never buy a new vehicle, which means you need to find a good used vehicle, which is exactly what I did, and I found it at High Profile Power Sports. Jason over at High Profile helped me find my new beloved Bacon LT. And I was going to show off my Chevy Bacon LT, but I have a bird that has it out for me and really ruined my ability to show off the Bacon LT that I got from High Profile. Again, I got my Bacon LT from High Profile. And again, a bird ruined my chance to show you because my truck is in a condition that I would be utterly embarrassed to put in an advertisement. So I would for sure never show my bacon LT that I got from High Profile Sports covered in bird crap.
Never?
Never. Ugh. Again, if you're in the market for something like a bacon LT, go to High Profile, get your bacon LT from High Profile, go to hppowersports.com. All right, we are back. We burned up 2 hours over the air waves, over the radio, and this is the overflow.
It is.
This is where all the cool kids hang out. It used to be the second hour, now it's the third hour.
Right.
Of the Gun Shop Show. And something just walked in the door of the Gun Shop Show, and I think it's time to take the Farm Bureau, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance mobile cam and go check it out.
Let's do it. Get him, Logs.
So Logan is walking across our store, the greatest gun shop in the world, and he's going to go talk with the greatest store manager in the world, which is Mr. Keith Robinson, who also happens to be my father-in-law. Oh, look at that! You're going in the back.
Everybody's got to get their turn with it back there.
Yeah, look at this.
Wow. Gosh dang. That is a huge magazine.
So this is New Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're seeing, and I think I can, podcasters are still going to want to know.
Right,
So
yep.
I'm still going to stay radio friendly.
Okay.
What do we have here?
What is that thing?
Yeah, what is that thing? Fire up the audio. Can the audio be turned on? Let's get all funky with it.
Yeah, he can turn on the audio.
Logan, turn on the audio.
Push the microphone thingy and then crank up the vol.
Crank it up, because we're seeing a pretty incredible gun that just came in the door.
Does it say RIA on the side?
Yeah, I know what it is, but
Rock
I'm
Island.
setting the suspense.
Oh. The the Virgo? I'm just kidding. That doesn't go.
Yeah, it didn't work, but that's okay. Thought we were going to get to see Keith. We didn't.
I saw a little snippet.
Logan doesn't know how to turn the button on.
Apparently.
That's a Rock Island Armory VR60 with a ridiculously long mag. That's going to be a 12 gauge semi-auto AR style.
That thing
12
is
gauge.
pretty cool looking.
Pretty
man.
cool. It just came in the door. It looked pretty amusing with the big long magazine. So this has been a great episode. It has been all about the guns of Annie Oakley. We are expanding like wildfire with your help, and the way that we're doing that is you're sharing the feed. So whenever you watch this, I'll try to remind you, but please share the feed. Is that Keith?
That's Keith.
Wave, Keith.
Apparently he can hear you.
Yeah, Logan probably passed on the message. Yeah. So there you are in the back of the gun shop. Tom is in the background. Call Tom out. Tom is one of our other top talents. Quite a thing. So we will get that gun checked in, and it'll be available here at Liberty Tree Guns. So thank you very much, Logan, for taking us along for the ride on the All Points Inspection mobile cam. So right now,
you're doing an incredible job with that, by the way.
Everybody is getting a little bit
turn.
of chance to see this incredible footage of our gun store.
Yikes!
Whoa, Logan's face is up close and personal on the Old Glory Auctions mobile cam. If you would like your business to be the only one with the naming rights to the mobile cam, then send us an email.
Yeah.
Where should they send it, Trevor?
They can send it to info@gunshopshow.com or
give us a
thegunshopshow.com. Wait, no, thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Just stick with the one.
I'm like,
or they can call the store,
Oh, it can do that?
417-358-5700, or they can get in the Facebook group.
Facebook group,
Which is a cool little community that we have built.
Yeah.
How many members do we have now?
Over 3,000.
It was like,
Getting
wasn't it
big.
3,500?
Oh,
Something
man.
like that?
Yeah, let's go for 4.
Yeah.
Might as well.
So the Gun Shop Show Facebook group where we can discuss all things on the show. I can't release all the details, but we are in talks with some other radio stations.
Mm-hmm.
So now's a good time to decide to sponsor the Gun Shop Show because that can help us get on more platforms, on your TV, on your radio, and so forth
That's
and
right.
such.
I don't, Eli, I'm not sure if folks really can feel the gravity of what that ad can do because it's not just a fleeting moment on the radio that someone's going to hear it, right?
No.
It comes and it goes. It's in perpetuity. This video will be on the internet for as long as the internet exists. I'm just going to say that. And so will your ad, for that matter.
Yeah, and the good thing about it, too, in addition to just the number of people that you reach, is people understand the like-mindedness of our sponsors, and they are choosing to vote with their dollars and sponsor their ad through people that believe in the same things as them and that believe in the fun and the importance of what we do here on the Gun Shop Show, which is we have a lot of fun, but we also talk about important things, important figures in history like Miss Annie Oakley. So if you're just joining us, just finding out, all of these episodes are available going back to our first one on YouTube, on Facebook, as well as podcasts. And I don't just mention that just to say we're on a bunch of things. Let me tell you why I mentioned the podcast, because I have people say, I love the show, but on Saturday mornings I have to make pottery, or I have to change baby diapers, or I have to whatever where my hands are full, right? And so the podcast makes it where you can pop that in, get the audio.
Yeah.
And Trevor told me you actually enjoy.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of them without the video.
You like the podcast better.
I honestly, I like to use my imagination when I'm listening to it.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. So this show has been brought to you by the great sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, some of them whom I mentioned, some that you'll be seeing more from, but also brought to you by the customers who vote with their dollars and choose their friends in the gun business, which is Liberty Tree Guns. And that really, at the end of the day, is what keeps this train moving forward.
That's right. We're very grateful.
Super grateful. We treat every order with that that feeling, that sentiment. We know we wouldn't be here.
That's right.
We wouldn't be able to, Trevor wouldn't be able to do his
Trevor things.
his cover song.
Oh,
you know what?
Annie, are you Oakley?
I think we need a rehash of that.
You want a playback?
We should send the show off with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah. Let's.
In the meantime, I want to do an original, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to.
He's gonna do one of his
It gets
original
real
songs,
dark
right?
in here all of a sudden.
He's like, I call this one. My dad wasn't around when I was growing up.
So yeah, I'll just give you a little taste of it.
Yeah, just give
Here
me
we
a
go.
little.
It's all kinds of cutting out, guys.
Yeah, give it a little click. Yeah, what's up? That's your cable?
I guess. No, this ain't my cable. It's your cable.
Oh,
it's your cable.
Oh, wow.
Gauntlet equals throne.
All right. Well, I think before we get out of here, we got to make sure we capture this. And that is, Trevor, we're going to have him do the Michael Jackson song about Annie Oakley. A lot of people don't know that.
No, they don't.
A lot of people don't know that Michael Jackson.
We
had
learned
a
a
song
lot today, Eli.
Had about Annie Oakley.
We learned a lot today, and one of the things we learned is that Michael Jackson was a big fan of Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley, yeah. And then here is proof. Let's go.
The cable's on the fritz again,
let's
guys.
try again. Let's fire it back up.
This has got to be. We got to do this good.
Yeah, try it
Real
again.
good. Here we
Yeah.
go. All right.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
There you go. Now you know. Bye, everybody.
Trevor asked me to give him a signal.
They can't see the signal.
Oh, yeah.
Because I accidentally threw the...
Yeah, I decided maybe if I take my shoe off.
Yeah, there you go.
He'll
buddy.
know.
That makes sense.
He'll know that this
Now I know.
is time for the end of the Gun Shop Show.
What?
On